Hello folks, today is Friday, March 10th, 2023. As usual, it's me, Jake Baldino, here to talk about a lot of video game news, everything that's been going on this week. It's pretty jam-packed, but before we do, just note that PAX East in Boston is pretty soon. It's about 2 weeks away. It's my favorite video game convention on the East Coast. I'm going to be there. I have no plans other than behind-the-scenes stuff, checking out some games, so if you see me, say hi or something. My first convention in a couple years, so I'm pretty excited. It'd be nice to meet some of you. But we got a lot of news, like I said, so let's just jump in with the first thing, the hot topic. It's Suicide Squad. Whew boy. So, according to reports, Jason Schreier at Bloomberg is citing inside sources saying that Suicide Squad is once again going to be delayed to later on in 2023. As you probably know, it was slated for May, and it is being pushed. Now, that leads to a lot of speculation, a lot of people assuming that it was pushed because of the most recent fan backlash. As you guys probably know, we got to see gameplay and a breakdown of it during a Sony thing, and we've talked about it a lot, but ultimately, the fact that it's always online and it has some games as a servicey type elements and gameplay that just doesn't really seem to fit those characters. There's some skepticism out there. A lot of people aren't really liking what they're hearing. I still think all the story and cutscene stuff looks cool, and maybe jumping around with my friends in Metropolis will be fun for a little bit, but I just don't need all of those online game services tacked on. Again, we could spend a lot of time talking about this. The thing is that a lot of people are thinking that the seemingly negative response has led to this delay, but we don't know for sure. Think about it, it was also releasing during a pretty packed month. Like May has a bunch of stuff like Breath of the Wild. Do we call it Breath of the Wild? No, it's not Breath of the Wild 2 anymore. Tears of the Kingdom, excuse me. Tales of the Kingdom? May has a lot, so maybe it's a strategic move, and also just for some polish and stuff like that was suggested. But I've also seen another report from Jeff Grubb, who also has some inside sources and usually gets some things right, who said that he's heard that it's actually not pushed to 2023 later on. It's actually pushed more to 2024, which suggests maybe they will actually do some reworking. Again, this is not something you can't just rework and take out some things that people don't like in a handful of months. It's more of a significant process. Even as a layman, you don't just flip a switch and turn off the stuff that people don't like in a game. So now, if that is the case, my big concern is that the game will be, gutted or feel awkward how Gotham Knights kind of felt. Like, it's just kind of like this game where you could tell there was probably something more going on with it or more online stuff, and then it was taken out, and it's a pretty simple game. Again, it's a lot of personal opinion, a lot of subjective stuff, but as of right now, that's where Suicide Squad is at. At the time of making this video, the delay is not official. It's not from the horse's mouth, the companies. This is from insider sources and stuff like that. So we don't know for sure if it's going to be later 2023 or 2024. But at the end of the day, I just hope they get it right. I still really like Rocksteady. I like DC. I like comic books. I really want to see Rocksteady's Justice League, even if you have to kill them. It looks interesting. They've already put a ton of years and money into this, so I'm curious to see where it ends up. But let me know. I want to hear what you guys think, because this is a significant one. Now, in terms of other delays, this is an official delay. Starfield has been kind of delayed. We had a window for it, and now we know it is getting bumped over to September. Starfield, as of right now, is officially releasing September 6th, and along with that, we know that we are getting an extended look at the game in a kind of developer showcase video presentation in June around E3 time, or Jeff Keighley Game Fest / E3, whatever you want to call it these days. The video didn't reveal too much. We got Todd Howard. Hod Tower. That's what we're calling him now. Dark Tower. Oh God.
Stephen King's Hod Tower.
My words aren't working right. I need more coffee. But yeah, dude, not too much from this video other than Todd Howard saying we're excited to work on this game and the team to show you the game. Typical corporate stuff. Little bits of off-screen gameplay here and there, but not a substantial look at the game. I'm still waiting for that, and it seems like we have to wait until June. Also, in case you missed it, today is technically Mario Day because it's March 10th. Mario Day. I call it Marteno Day. Stupid. But Nintendo had a whole Nintendo Direct presentation where they showed off the newest trailer for the Super Mario movie, and it still looks pretty damn cool. I'll link it in the description down below. It seems like it shows a lot of the movie, but I think kids are gonna dig it. I hope adults like it too. I'm easy to please. I'm also really stupid because I like the original Mario Brothers movie from the 90s with John Leguizamo and Bob Hoskins, but that's just me. I'm crazy, so let's move on. And in some PC gamer news, it does seem like new Counter-Strike is actually going to be a thing, dubbed right now Counter-Strike 2. This comes from Richard Lewis, a famous esports reporter who cites inside sources saying that not only is a new Counter-Strike game in the works, it's actually apparently going to release pretty soon. It's been in the works for quite some time. According to him, Valve has been like flying out an esports team to test it out because they, I guess, know this stuff. It's going to be Counter-Strike with newer tech, better visuals because it'll be on the newer Source engine, and this could be potentially a big deal. It's just interesting to see how this is all going to shake out with the in-game economy established with CSGO and how things are going to transfer over, if anything. And it's just nice to hear, even though I am not a Counter-Strike person by any means, good to hear Valve doing video game stuff. Obviously, like with Dota and stuff like that, and like with what they've been doing with the Steam Deck and the little Valve experience they put out there. Half-Life Alyx, like they're kind of like they're doing their thing again, and I love to see it. If you're a Counter-Strike player, though, I definitely want to know what you think, because for me, that ship has sailed. That's a young man game. I don't have time to get good at games like that. I need to just play games with stories that make me cry, or like games where you punch men in the streets, or you're Ninja Turtles or superheroes, because my attention span is bad. But hey, jumping over to games I am into, Paradox Interactive had like a showcase thing where they revealed some things, most notably a competitor to The Sims. It's called Life by You. We're going to hear more about this later on in March, but that's a pretty big deal because nobody's ever really tried to do a life sim game specifically like The Sims to compete with The Sims, and I like that. I think innovation and competition can bring new things, so there's some potential there. And on the flip side, Paradox also announced City Skylines 2, which I am so excited about. All we got was like a freaking glitzy cinematic pre-rendered trailer that doesn't really show you anything. And I still got excited because I love City Skylines and all the mods. I've spent so much time in that game. I have a weird thing for these games, especially considering they ain't doing it with SimCity anymore. So City Skylines really took it and ran with it. And the fact that they have a sequel that is slated for 2023 has me very happy. I'm not shilling or anything. It could turn out to be totally bad, or maybe they just don't really learn from what the modding scene has done. You know, we haven't seen anything yet, but I just like city builders. Hey, next up, this episode is sponsored by Rocket Money, formerly Truebill. Now, I've said it before on this show, but we like this app a lot because I like to make savings and finance stuff kind of like a game. You know, like managing stats in an RPG or a trading game or something. It just helps me plan better and not freak out about the future. And that's why Rocket Money has been a literal game changer. It's an all-in-one finance platform that helps you save more and spend less. You can manage your subscriptions, lower your bills, even create a custom budget. And it's all easy. I've been using this app for months now, and what I really like is seeing all my subscriptions at a glance in front of me to really just see that I was spending way too much on them. And not only does Rocket Money identify them, but they can also cancel them for you. You press a button. That's really it. Good for me, because I hate talking on the phone. And the other thing I really like is setting up budget and turning on notifications so that you know when you're spending too much. Having alerts like that is great, plus you can monitor your credit. So to save more, spend less, and join the 3.4 million people using Rocket Money, go to rocketmoney.com/GameRanks or click the link in the description down below to get started for free or unlock even more features with premium. That's rocketmoney.com/GameRanks. Check it out. Get your money right in 2023, and big thanks to them for sponsoring this video. And then more good announcements for people who love specific games. We're getting another Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi. It seems like it might be 4. That's what a lot of people are dubbing this as. It's a small tease. We don't know anything, really, but Dragon Ball Z fans are eating good, seemingly. Fighting game fans, really. Next up, we got some cool, smaller things linked in the description down below that I want you to check out. The first is Phantom Brigade finally had its full release. This is a kind of turn-based, kind of RTS hybrid mech game that on the surface doesn't look like much, but it was so much fun. I demoed this a couple of years ago. I played like a prototype of it, and it's finally releasing. It seems pretty awesome. Also, we've talked about this on the show before, but this little game called Romancelvania has released. It's kind of like a hybrid between like a romance, like a dating sim game, and Castlevania, which is a cool mix. As of right now, the reviews are a little mixed on it, but still just wanted to follow up on that. And if you still are fresh on PlayStation VR 2, if you picked one up, we made a video about it as well. Before Your Eyes is now out on PlayStation VR 2, and it seems like it's pretty great. It was already a VR game, or a game experience, and now it's on PSVR 2, and it seems like reviewers are digging it. Also, Holy shit. Dead Cells Return to Castlevania is out, and nobody told me. I had no idea. I wish I set aside time and took off work to play it, because it sounds awesome. It looks awesome. It's pretty much everything I want. I absolutely love Dead Cells. It's a cheap add-on, and like, I'm gonna recommend it even though I haven't played it, just because I like the development team and it seems like they made all the right moves here. Also, I'm not the only person saying this, but it seems like at this point they should be the ones to make a Castlevania game. I've also linked details in the description down below. Halo Season 3 has dropped. Halo Infinite has been the talk of the town for a while in terms of like, what are they doing, what's going on, but if you're looking for some new stuff, here it is. And on the flip side, for PC players, we got more details on The Last of Us Part 1, the PC version. We got the specs, we got some of the features. It's supporting AMD, it's supporting NVIDIA, all that screen tech, all that goodness you need. It's basically the way it works. If you're watching the HBO show, you finish that, and at the end of the March, you're going to be playing this on your shiny PC. Really, I'm just excited to see The Last of Us with mods. It's been too long. We need that juicy comedy. Who would be a good character model replacement for Joel? Oh, you know, we get like all the bricks and bottles you throw, turn them into Pokeballs. He has not thrown a brick at one person in the show. Fix that. Also, one last fun thing I linked. We share them a lot. Eli_handle_B on YouTube does really good like green screen rotoscoping stuff. And this time they took Michael Scott from The Office and put him in Mass Effect.
I can't tell the aliens from the animals.
You are such a racist.
Next up, I got to talk about it. You know, I can't help myself. Diehard RoboCop fan. We got a look at RoboCop Rogue City. This is the first-person RoboCop game from the people behind the most recent Terminator game. That was like a AA, lower-budget game, but like kind of understood some of the elements of Terminator. So I was looking forward to this. And with the gameplay we got, the jury's still out. Again, I judge things really when I play it, but for right now, I have a lot of criticisms. It looks cool. Detroit is really detailed. The gore is cool. It's very flashy. But I don't know. The feel just isn't quite there. I even dusted off my Twitter account just to tweet feedback of the developers, and I never do that. Peter Weller is doing the voice, but it doesn't sound right. It needs more modulation. He sounds like he's 100 years old. And to be fair to him, like he is. So... But the Auto 9, the gun doesn't sound right at all. Like there's something about that has to have that punch. Again, like it's cool to see RoboCop crushing heads and shooting dudes. And I actually, like, unpopular opinion, I think the first person view mode here is totally cool and works. But I need to see more. I love RoboCop like more than anything, and I just want to see that they get it. I assume that the developers also really love RoboCop, so like wishful thinking. I want RoboCop to be the best thing. I want RoboCop to be on top again. I want Alex Murphy to rule. Sorry, I'm rambling. Just like RoboCop show, like when RoboCop, I get worked up. I'm sorry.
I need to edit this. Can you shut up?
Also, linked in the description below is an article breaking down new stuff with the whole PlayStation, Xbox back and forth with the Activision Blizzard acquisition. Sony is now saying that they're coming out hard now and saying that Microsoft essentially, while they will allow Call of Duty on PlayStation, they could release it in a buggier, crappier state and really hurt the competition. Jim Ryan apparently has even said out loud that he just wants the deal squashed. At this point, we're getting towards the end of this deal actually getting passed by allowed by regulators or not. This back and forth thing, I know a lot of people like this, like it's like entertainment, but I don't care anymore. I just want to see what happens. And that comes from somebody who loves talking about the inside baseball, but like this just feels like drama to me until things actually happen. So if you want to read it, it's linked down there. Also, the PlayStation 5 got a big update with some quality of life stuff. It's worth pointing out, like more folder organization and filtering specifically for VR games. Also, variable refresh rate support for 1440p, the golden resolution. But also, Discord. Discord is officially on PlayStation. The integration so far seems like it's kind of cool. I need to play around with it more, but you can go crazy now. But last but certainly not least, Resident Evil 4 now has a demo. It's out on PlayStation 5, PS4, the Xboxes, and Steam. It's called the Chainsaw Demo. There's no time limit to it, and it is essentially the setup, the intro of the game. Capcom held a showcase yesterday, but the biggest thing was Resident Evil. I have a lot of thoughts. I'm saving it for the full video I'm going to do on my channel, the before you buy, everything like the review. But people can jump in now and go crazy and have fun. Like the original sequence, that first act, that opening of Resident Evil 4, is like one of the coolest things in gaming, one of the most well-directed things. So now you get to see this new version in all of its glory before you jump into the full game. More demos is always good. So have fun, go crazy if you're playing that, or whatever you're playing. Of course, there's like a pinned comment. Let us know in that pinned comment, in those replies, what you're playing this week for our research and stuff like that. Thank you. But let me know what you're thinking about all the stories this week. There's a lot. Xbox versus PlayStation, of course, but Suicide Squad. What is your hot take? How much of a delay do you think this needs for them to get the game into just a straightforward, regular single-player game? Or do you want a live service game? Do you want to endlessly play as Captain Boomerang with DLC and expansions? Let's talk. Let's talk about RoboCop Rogue City. Hit me up, the #1 RoboCop influencer. That's right, I'm calling myself that. I hate the word influencer, but if it's for RoboCop, sure. Let's talk about anything involving the gaming news this week down in the comments. We'll be down there as much as possible, but things get a little crazy. So, of course, if you want to yell at me directly, you can find me on Instagram at Jake Baldino or my other YouTube channel, Jake Baldino. But hey, thank you guys for being here, getting caught up on the news with us. You know, we're here every week, every Friday for years now. We don't miss. So click the like button. It helps us out. But thank you. Have a good weekend. Be safe. Enjoy yourself. I'm Jake Baldino. See you guys next time. Pizza's on me.